Mommy's recording, guys, okay? So I have some Shrinky-Dink paper, and I have some brown ink. And for this project, I'm going to be using my butterflies. And see, I'm missing some small ones, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I have everything now. I can't find one of them, but I literally have like 3 piles of clean stamps that I have to put away. And then I have 2 piles of dirty stamps that I have to wash. Here's some brown ink that I've mixed using the primary colors on my pad. And I have these 2 sheets of Shrinky-Dink paper. Mine are small. So when shopping for it for yourself, maybe check out the dimensions because I can't get like some of the big stamps on here that I would like to get on here. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with the biggest of the stamps. Okay, when coloring these or painting these or whatever medium you choose to use, think about using high contrasting colors near each other. That way you'll see your colors more vividly. Okay, and I'm just arranging them before I stamp them so I can try to squeeze as much stamps in there as I can to make full use of my materials. I'm going to be using the 4 largest of the stamps. Might use the death moth if I have space. We're going to go in with our paint now. And I'm using acrylic paint. I'm going to paint them before I cut them because my theory is that the paint makes it a little easier for them to be cut out afterwards because they are a little tricky to cut out. Some raw oxide sounds great. Burnt umber, yep. And I'm going to use some chalk paint as well because I don't have any more white acrylic left, but I do have white chalk paint. And Mars Black. I'm just gonna cut these apart so they're easier to paint. Before you start painting, you kind of have to decide whether you want to go with the matte side or the shiny side for your finish side. For your finish side, if you wanted the shiny side, then you're gonna want to paint the inverse. But I think I want the textured matte side, so I'm just going to paint how I would normally paint. But I want to keep my layers quite thin and my brush strokes quite thin. I normally paint like super chunky. You want to keep them thin because when they bake, they condense and shrink, and then your little texture becomes like high texture like this. I'm going to start off with my black acrylic paint here first. I am making full use of the lines on my stamp impressions and using the ink to tell me where the dark colors should go, and the empty lines tell me where the lighter colors should go. Now I'm going to go in with my darkest of browns. I'm going to go in with my bright white. And now basically I'm going to use my like burnt umber colors to fill in the empty spaces. On the bottom lines I'm going to use this darker one, and on the top I'm going to use that lighter one. And we are ready to cut this guy out. When cutting these out, always cut in towards tight corners and never try and turn your scissors sharply or you risk cracking the film. If the angle you're cutting in is a little awkward, sometimes just flipping the Shrinky-Dink film upside down, you can get in that corner from a different angle a little better. I'm not sure which is the better option. I feel like the paint strengthens the film a little bit before cutting, but then again, cracking your painted butterfly would be a shame. So maybe practice cutting a few out beforehand. Let's paint some more. Okay, so I wanted to create some butterflies and moths that IOD have not created stamps for. So I'm going to Frankenstein a Luna and a giant silk moth by using pieces of my butterfly stamps. You could create any butterfly or moth you wanted by switching out the bodies, using different wings from other stamps, layering, and changing the angles of the wings. If you feel you've lost all your detail, don't worry, just stamp them back on. If fussy detail painting is not your style, just paint them solid and restamp. It's beautiful and way faster. Let's take a look at these beforehand. Here's a little trio. And here's the moth. And here's Winray's little cuties she's made. I got my oven preheating to 325. And I like to just watch them in the oven. I don't like to say like they're gonna be done in such and such a time. I just watch, and when they curl up and then just relax. Once they relax, I just wait like 30 seconds and then I take them out then. Be careful, don't burn yourself. My hands are kind of numb. I'm bending up the wings while the film is still warm. You don't have a lot of playtime here. If it sets up before you get a chance to bend it, don't worry. Just pop it back in the oven for a few minutes and then try again. And now that they're all baked, I can glob on all the paint I want. I put a pearlescent paint on some of them and a matte top coat on all of them to lock in all the chippy paint. I added some fluffy fur and wool onto my moth's bodies. And here they are. Aren't they pretty? But we're not done yet. I went ahead and I made myself a bunch of molds using these two beautiful sets from IOD Frames. They are so useful for little crafts. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then 2 here. But you can make so many more than just 7 frames. And I'm gonna actually make a video on that sometime. And here's my archive of butterflies. I'd like to note, no butterflies were harmed in the making of this video. And if you'd like to help my channel grow, or you just liked the video, hit the like button, and I'll see you later.